Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're continuing our study of the book of Amos, and which is part of our larger study of the writing prophets to the northern kingdom. Right in the middle of the judgment against the nations, we're right in the middle of that beginning, that opening. He's crisscrossing the map, and he's condemning all the enemies and all the nation states surrounding the northern kingdom. Israel. So he begins with three nations that they have no ethnic relation to. The Arameans. Well, the Arameans are Semitic, but they're not directly related to Abraham. To them through Abraham. The Philistines. They're from the Mediterranean islands of Europe, and then the Phoenicians. But now the Edomites. The Edomites, as well as the Amalekites and other peoples, but particularly the Edomites, excuse me, the Edomites are descendants of not all these other peoples, but the Edomites and the Amalekites are both descended from Esau. And in fact, Edom means red in the same way Esau means the color red. And the Edomites were particularly fierce enemies of the Jews. Um, and they were generally dominated by the Jews. David conquered the Edomites in Second Kings Second Samuel chapter 8, and they were dominated by the Israelites, by the southern kingdom of Judah until Second Kings chapter 8, when they gained their independence after warring against King Jehoram, who was not a good king. But the Edomites despise the Jews, and they are there to trouble the Jews all the way to Babylonian captivity. They inhabit a mountainous area directly south of the Red Sea. There's a mountainous area, and then uh, their area goes all the way down to the northern tip of the Red Sea, and they have ports there. It's not very big, and it's not really arable. I mean, there's not any farmland there. So they're traders, they're miners, but they make their way the way they can. Um, um, the city of Basra is still there. In fact, that area is now part of what is present day Jordan. Um, okay, let's read about their war crimes. Thus says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not revoke its punishment, because he pursued his brother with the sword, while he stifled his compassion. His anger also tore continually, and he maintained his fury forever. So I will send fire upon Heman, and it will consume the citadels of Basra. Heman, the city in the mountains, Basra, the city near the coast. Um, well, we do know from Psalm 137 that the Edomites participated in the destruction of the city of Jerusalem and the raping and pillaging that happened, and encouraged it and took glee in it. Um, and I'm sure that whenever they had opportunity, they did this. They hated the Jews, um, and they never let that go. Um, and so they ceased to be a nation as well. The Babylonians were not their friends. Now, ethnically, they persisted um, um, as the Idumeans that we read about in the New Testament. Um, uh, uh, the Idumeans are connected to, descended partially from the Edomites. Um, but this persistent hatred and 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 the glee and the readiness they take in doing viciousness, in just um, perpetrating violence and perpetually seeking violence against the Jews. This is the war crime that they're going to be condemned for. Next time, the Ammonites, and they're pretty bad. It just gets worse the farther down we get in the judgments until we get to Judah. Thank you for joining me for another 5 minute Good Minutes with the Word.